All right, so I wanted to take you through how you could change things on your services pages because I know that you may decide at some point to add new services. So I just wanted to show you how that works. So again, this is the page that it drops you on whenever you log into your website. This is just our dashboard. So we're going to come up here to Whiskers and Wags and click Visit Site to take us to the front end of our website, what people see. And then I'm going to go to the page that I want to work on. So let's go to the private lessons page for starters. And let's say you wanted to add an additional options. You've got puppy prep, you've got puppy primer, you've got canine polishing, you've got your basic private lessons packages. Let's say you wanted to add another option on maybe you're going to do service dog consults or therapy dog consults, right? So I'm going to show you how you could do that and how you can tweak and edit that. It's a little more advanced than just text edits because we're essentially going to copy a whole section and then edit it. So I don't actually need to scroll back up to the top, but I am. You're just going to click Enable Visual Builder just like we do when we're making a text edit. And that just turns on the editing tool. And then we're going to scroll down to where we want to change things. And so now in this case, I want to copy this section here, but I actually want it to have a white background so that I can keep up this pattern of gray and then white and then gray. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this one, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. So because I want to copy everything in this blue box, I'm going to make sure I have the blue box selected. Now there's also this green box. If I copied the green box, it would just put it here within the blue box. The entire website is boxes within boxes. And I want to make sure I copy the blue box for this so that I get everything beneath it. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit this little duplicate section button. You can see it's a box on top of a box. That just means duplicate or copy it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And you can see now we have two identical sections, one on top of the other. And I want to change the background color for this whole section. So I'm going to click on the blue box, click on the gear for settings. And you can see it says background, so I'll click on background. And then I just want it to be white, so I'm going to choose settings and make it white. Green button saves changes and says OK. And you can see now it kind of makes this section look a little funky because that has a white background. So we could, if we wanted to, go in and change that background too. I'm not going to bother with that just because I'm not really going to keep this here. But you could if you wanted to, if you're really making long-term changes to the page. And then you just do it the same way you would a text edit. So you'd click here and you'd change this to be whatever the new section is going to be. So you can change this to say therapy, dog, consults, right? And then you could change the copy here. One thing I do want to note is you can see how they're kind of different sizes and things. So what that's controlled by is basically, it's called a heading. Now let me click on this again. If I highlight this and then I click on this little AA here, you can see this is a heading 2. If I click down here, this is a heading 3. And this is just paragraph text. So if I wanted to make it look like this or this, I could click those buttons to turn on heading 2 or heading 3. Then you'd want to change these out. So again, you could just click into them, edit the text as needed. Now if I only needed 2 of these, I could delete one. If I click on it and then hit the little garbage can, it would go away. And I could do that for all of these sections if I wanted to. Let me go ahead and delete this section. Let's say instead of this, we wanted it to also have this yellow section, right? So we could click on this blue box, duplicate, and then if I click here again, it's got this little crosshair thing, and if you click and hold the mouse button down, it'll let you move it. So I'll just scroll down and drop that underneath here. And now it's already got the white background, and I could just edit the text any way that I needed to. And you can do that pretty much for anything I've pre-built for you. You can just duplicate things and move them around until you get them kind of where you want them looking the way that you want them to look. All right, so let's go ahead and delete this back out because we don't actually want to keep that. And that's how you would change things if you wanted to add an additional lesson here. It is also how you would change things. Let me go ahead and save this. Now that I've re-deleted out the section that I added. Exit Visual Builder. That is also how you would change things on your board and train page if you wanted to add a section here. So if you wanted to add another board and train type package, you could copy this section and change the background color. And it is also how both the boarding and pet sitting and the virtual consult pages are built. So let me just click on each of those. Again, you could copy this if you wanted to do something other than in-home boarding, medical boarding, and home visits. You could add another option down below the same way. Or let's go to the virtual consults page. If you wanted to add a different consult option, you could do that again the same way. You could just copy this whole section, change what some examples are, etc., and change the details until you were happy with the way that it looked. I want to show you one more piece, and that's this button. So because this takes you just to the contact page, you're probably fine. But if at some point in the future you wanted a button to go somewhere other than where it goes right now, I want to show you how to change that. So let's say we wanted this button to go to Zoom or to go to some sort of scheduling website. We can click on this. We can click on gear. And then we'll come down to link. And you just change this button link to go wherever it is you want the button to go. And then you hit the save button. And then again, you'd click the 3 dots and hit save to make your changes permanent. That's all it takes. All right, I hope that helps. I know that's a little bit more advanced, but I did just want to include that in case sometime in the future you do want to do some of the more advanced edits. Let me go ahead and make sure I hit Exit Visual Builder just to let it know I'm done. Turn off the Builder tool, and then we're all set.